No, mate. Don't like Moyes. Don't like him. Don't like Moyes. Don't like Brady. Don't like Sullivan. Don't like Gold. Don't like the stadium. Don't like the shirt. Don't like the team. Don't like supporters. Come on, you Irons! Hi gang, welcome to Mike on Monday. This weekend the FA Cup happened without either us or Watford. Coincidence or conspiracy? I'll let you good people decide. In the meantime, likely slow inevitable grind towards death. Let's have a look what actually did happen this weekend at West Ham. That way, let's go. Well gang, bad week for the board because with no games for West Ham fans to obsess about this week, we all really focused on the March and the the implications of that. The Real West Ham fan group, by the way, there's some people not objecting to the name the Real West Ham fan group because they feel the real makes it feel like if you're not part of that, you're not a real West Ham fan. I think it should be worth pointing out that the real part is real as in real, as opposed to the fictional West Ham fan group. You know, the 50,000 people that the board reckoned are on the season ticket waiting list. They're the fictional ones. The real West Ham fans are the physically human beings. So, the real West Ham fan group, they are this very evening meeting with the board, and there are several things that are going to come up in this conversation, I believe. For example, one of the many things that a lot of people are objecting to is the name. West Ham on their new badge has got West Ham United, and then at the bottom of the badge the word London, just in case you weren't aware of where West Ham fans are. And I think there are people worried that the name of the team will change to West Ham London as opposed to West Ham United. Personally, I think there are plenty of other teams with worse names. There's Brighton and Hove Albion. Let's face it, they sound like a 1930s steel brass band based on the south coast and taken lots of acid. And of course, my all-time favourite, Man City, which sounds like every gay guy's favourite holiday resort, doesn't it? But, you know, I can understand it's through tradition, and surely you should just say East London or nothing at all and just be West Ham United. But, you know, that's one thing. The other thing they're obviously demanding is the public flogging of David Sullivan. To try and avoid this, David Sullivan has this week decided to step back, or announced he's going to step back from player recruitment and take more of a backseat role on that. Now, who knows if he's actually going to do that or he's just placating the fans by saying he's going to do that to try and avoid said flogging. But there you go. One thing is really interesting is that West Ham have this week announced the temporary replacement of renowned racist Tony Henry with a former analyst who's been promoted to head of player recruitment called, to get the name right, Jordan Miles, who is clearly 14. And he's coming in to do that. For the rest of the season, whether he'll stay on or not is yet to be seen. I think one of the things that's become obvious this week is that West Ham have every intention of retaining the services of David Moyes, and whether David Moyes wants to stay, from the utterances coming from him, I've got a feeling that if his demands are met, i.e. he's given a lot more control of player recruitment, etc., then he will be staying at West Ham. And now, whether he's given those things, of course, is neither here nor there. I don't know. I'm assuming if they're that desperate to keep him, they'll let him have that and then gradually try and claw it back from him. But hey, so we wondered whether that was a good thing or bad thing and what West Ham fans thought of this. So we sent our roving reporter Mike out onto the streets of the town of Dave in Essex to talk to actual West Ham fans who will speak their brains, and we'll find out what they've got to say about David Moyes and whether he's done a good job or not. Then Mike, as I say, has this. I'm here in the town of Dave in Essex, a town famous for drizzle, mass unemployment and its exceptionally supple prostitutes. It's also, though, a town renowned for West Ham supporters, a hotbed of West Ham support here in the heartlands of Essex. And I thought I would come out here and ask actual West Ham fans what they thought of David Moyes and the team's progression under his leadership. Here is what they had to say. So what do you think of David Moyes and his tenure at West Ham so far? Do you think he's done a good job? David Moyes, think he's done well? Yeah, Moyes has done alright, you know, like he's made us meatier. Yeah, he's made us like meaty, like not like a steak or like anything like that, like more like a butcher sausage. Yeah, like a really good quality free-range pork one. Yeah, proper sausage, innit? Like you'd have with sausage and mash. Yeah, I reckon he's made us meatier like that. Because with billets, yeah, we're a bit more like a chipolata, but not even a good chipolata. Because some chipolatas are nice, innit? I mean, like a chipolata, like, you know, Asda in the reduced section, like rubbish chipolata. Yeah. So he's done right, yeah, meatier, sausagey, yeah. No, mate, don't like Moyes. Don't like Moyes at all. Don't like Moyes, don't like Brady, don't like Sullivan, don't like Gold, don't like the shirt, don't like the stadium, don't like supporters, don't like the team, definitely don't like Moyes. Come on, you Lions! Do you think David Moyes is a good manager for West Ham? So there you have it. Only time will tell if David Moyes goes on to be a success at West Ham, and time will tell on most things, especially if they are time related. I'm roving reporter Mike, reporting exclusively for Mike on Monday on Hammers Chat. Thanks for that, Mike. I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me that that's pretty damn conclusive. But staying on the subject of David Moyes and trying to get more of a rounded view of that, we contacted renowned stats website Tifo Football and asked them what they thought, and they gave us this. David Moyes became manager of West Ham United on the 7th of November 2017, saying he was happy to take on the job of going to a big club like West Ham and becoming a success. Many West Ham fans doubted him, but he has since proved to be doing quite well. Since becoming West Ham manager, David Moyes has brought in 362 bananas, 30,732 blueberries, 32 supple prostitutes from the town of Dave in Essex, and poked Marko Arnautovic in the ear a sum total of 13 times. West Ham as a club, have become triangular and are now becoming a Jennifer. Tifo Football, bringing you statistics for soccer. Thanks for that, Tifo Football. And now time for your questions and answers, but mostly questions because we ask you to send in questions. Let's go. Thanks so much for keep sending in the questions. Leave comments, send us a message through Twitter, and my Twitter handle is @WHUMike. You can leave comments below. And thanks so much for all the ones you sent. I've got quite a few here to get through this week. I've loads, actually, loads and loads. So let's get cracking with something positive from Ryan Manning. He's asked, what is your all-time Premier League piss poor first 11? This actually took quite a long time to put together. I had to think about it. And apart from two names, Alan McKnight and David Kelly, there were just so many to pore over. I mean, it's not like we've had, there aren't any bad players that have played West. There were loads to choose from. Anyway, I've gone for this. Do let me know if you agree or disagree. You can leave comments, say, or tweet me. So, in goal, obvious choice, Alan McKnight, or Alan McKnight as he's known at the time. Possibly the worst goalkeeper I have ever seen, let alone play for West Ham. I've gone for a 4-4-2 formation here to keep it brief. I've got in defence Julian Forbear, Foster, Paul Hilton, Scott Minto. In midfield, Kieran Dyer, purely he's probably quite a good player, but we never saw, and he was earning loads and loads of money and never played for God knows how long. Joey Bochum, whatever you say it, Savio Nazareko as a winger, and Luis Boamorte make up the horror midfield from Howe, and up front, Benny McCarthy, and God, there's so many to choose from. For the second striker, I've gone for Benny McCarthy, and my worst ever all-time West Ham player, David, I've fallen over Kelly. I was, for a joke, just going to have David Kelly in every position except goal, where Alan McKnight is clear winner. Anyway, thanks for that, mate. Next question comes from Mike Stringer, and he's got a good one here. Why are we so poor at throw-ins? And that's from Mike Stringer. Thanks so much again for that, Mike. And that sounds more like a sort of technical, tactical question. So to answer that this week, we're going to go over to Mike at the Tactics Centre. Mike, why are we so poor at throw-ins? Thanks, Mike. On Saturday, the 10th of February, West Ham United were at home to Watford. Halfway through the second half of that game, Mikel Antonio, the West Ham United left wing-back, came over to the touchline to take a throw-in and missed like this. He totally missed the pitch. This now becoming the least successful throw-in I have ever seen at a football match. The referee, I thought, would have foul throw, but he didn't. He just allowed Antonio to have another go. But it made little difference because, once again, West Ham lost possession from the throw-in. According to Tifo Football statistics, our ball retention from throw-ins is the third worst in the league. West Ham are 18th with 19% retention from throw-in. Southampton 19th with 18% retention from throw-in. And worst of all, Crystal Palace, who manage under Alan Pardew to retain the ball less often than they actually have throw-ins, and have a -4% retention rate from throw-ins. Why are West Ham the third worst team in the league and really quite poor at retaining the ball from throw-ins? I've used this microscope to have a look into what happens. It's all very, very apparent. The West Ham aren't very good at them. From us here at the Tactics Centre, that's West Ham's very poor throwing technique analysed. Back to Mike in the studio. Thanks, Mike. Classy and incisive and indeed sexy analysis there from a very classy and incisive guy. Mike Stringer asked that, and we've answered that for you. Please do feel free to message in. You can tweet me, as I say, at WHUMike, or leave a comment below. As last week, first time viewer Matt H did, and he asked about my Italian dad. Now, last week's show, I was talking about I'm half Italian, my dad's from Italy, very, very typical Italian, and he had the typical Italian wandering eye, and that's what they call it when you've got an eye for the ladies, a wandering eye, and he certainly had that. But it wasn't really the wandering eye that bothered my mum as much as the wandering Willie, because crikey, he shagged half of South London, and eventually he did something even more typically Italian. He ran off with another woman, then just run off, because divorces happen and separations happen. I understand that as a part of the modern world, But he did the classic thing of meeting a girl from Brazil and then leaving to go and live with her in Brazil, and we've never heard from him since. Well done, my Italian dad. If you are watching this perchance, I've forgotten you. So, moving on to that, thanks for that, Matt, and just tidying the loose end of that one up. Alf, do I think Tevez I'll say again. Alf said, do I think the Tevez / Mascherano signings were the best or worst we ever did? Well, and technically speaking, they were the best. They are two of the best players West Ham ever signed. And the fact that we had no idea what to do with Mascherano, and he spent the entire season on the bench by 2 or 3 games before going on to being one of the world's best defensive midfielders / defenders when he was at Barcelona. Tevez, again, we finally got him scoring goals, and he essentially really helped keep us up that season before leaving in a cloud of nostalgia, because we were nostalgic about Tevez in only the way West Ham fans can be while he was still here. We knew we'd go because he was good, and we were just, do you remember Tevez? What, the bloke on the pitch? Yeah, but it'll be on Zoom. And we always seem to have that nostalgia for an age yet to come idea sometimes with West Ham. We were a bit like it with the French snake as well. Everyone kind of knew what was going to happen. Anyway, so he was both. They were both. They were best players we ever signed and the worst because of all the hoo-ha which we got, and Sheffield United throwing their toys out the pram, etc, etc. Who else we got here? Jim Prother. I hope I've got that right for you, mate. Do I miss Andy Carroll, and why? No, because he's pants. There you go. Okay, yes, the odd good game. And that's it. Frankly, we're better off playing the players we are playing with him being injured, and I'd be more than happy if he's throughout the rest of his contract injured, even though obviously it's costing a lot of money in wages. I would rather that than he attempted to play football. I don't think he wants to play football. I don't think he cares. I think he gives a damn. He's got his money, and I think that's it. I genuinely think that's how the kind of guy he is. And what else we got? I think that's going to be it for this weekend. Covered that one, and that one. Good. One last one here, and it's from my favourite Ryan B, who isn't Ryan Manning, by the way. We've already done Ryan Manning. Ryan B, and he said, will we get a result at Liverpool without Bilic? Good question again. Ryan B always comes up with them, and the reason for that is, of course, that our next game is Liverpool, a ground we have done notoriously shit at for many years, until Bilic came along. Bilic, for all his faults, got a result at Liverpool. We won there in his first game, and then we drew last season, and he never got to do this season. Maybe we should have just sort of kept him locked in the cupboard and brought him out for that game or something, because he's the only person who ever really got us a result away at Anfield. So it's going to be very tricky. I would focus more on the performance. I think if we give a good account of ourselves, do you remember like we did, I know it was very defensive, but we did at Man City, and we have done at some other games, and I don't think they're particularly great at the back, even with your man Van Dijk joining them, and a bit of pace put up against them would be good. So it depends what kind of lineup Moyes puts out there. Is he going to try and win it, or just try and stop the win and go for the draw? I suspect he will go for the draw. In that case, we'll probably lose. But hey, it would depend on if we play well and have a go at them on the break, then I'll take that. Anyway, that's it for this week. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Please do subscribe to both Hamish Chat channels, because they are godlike, and we do supply free sex and drugs if you subscribe. We don't do it before we get wiped off YouTube. We don't, that's all. Joke. Not a very funny one, just a joke. So please do subscribe to both Hamish Chat channels, and remember, leave a message. If you enjoyed the show, please do give it a thumbs up. If you've got any questions, leave them below, or you can tweet me at WHUMike, as I've said a million times already. And I will see you next Monday for next week's Mike on Monday, because I'm Mike and it is on a Monday, and I look forward to seeing you then. Until then, gang, come on you Irons. Ha 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 ha!